Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. New brewery time. To be fair, I reviewed something from this brewery before. What is it? The Dochter van de Korenaar brewery. But I reviewed it a couple days ago. I got this at the same time as that one. I chose that one first. So this is new brewery time. We'll post these both at the same time. The other one was a wine yeasted Belgian dark aged in wine barrels. Hell yeah. This is their Embrasse Peated Belgian dark ale. It is aged on peated whiskey barrels, premium quality. So it's an Islay whiskey barrel aged beer. Let's see. Embrasse Peated aged on peated whiskey barrels, wood matured full malt beer, re-fermented in the bottle. The beer matures for average 6 to 8 months in peated whiskey barrels. During this time, it takes on a robust smoky notes, becoming complex and full of flavor. Yeah. Curious to see where this sucker lands. This is best before 2037. Is kind of what, no, 20, I think it's 2027. So I think the lot number is 2024 /0005. So is it 5th month? I don't know. But yeah, let's dive into it. Label wise, love the crap out of this brewery and what they do. They're doing this nice kind of gold on black vibes. And I'm here for it. I dig it. The other one had this like a little wax seal and a little kind of twine rope and all kinds of other stuff going on. So very much here for their pomp and circumstance because I dig on it. I dig on it for sure. So listen, I love Scotch barrel aged beers. I love Scotch, but I'm not a big Islay Scotch guy. I don't like peated smoke stuff, but it works for me in beer. It's one of those weird things where, yeah. I think we might be on something, but like I said, label-wise, that gold, this nice kind of just matte, almost like kind of dark grayish, kind of 75% CMYK black kind of vibe going on there. I dig on it. And as far as the beer goes, it looks all the part of a nice, rich Belgian-style dark. Just has this nice kind of mahogany-toned darkness to it, a bit of haziness to it with this kind of beautiful malt ball colored head to it that you give it a swirl and it comes back with a vengeance. So we're off to a very good start. The nose. Let's see. Okay, aromatically, not much, if any, kind of smoky peatiness to this. So I'm very, very, very kind of like taken back. So I thought, peat smoke, blah, blah, blah. Now, if we're talking 6 to 8 months in the barrel, it's not a lot of time. But even, I'm not really getting much of anything here. I'm actually getting a lot of that metallic astringency aromatically, which is something I typically don't. Like a wet nickel kind of thing going on. A bit of maltiness, a little bit of that wet nickel. Done. Really, not much here aromatically. The beer itself just doesn't smell anything like what it's being advertised as, which is kind of like a weird thing. Now, we could definitely make up for that in the taste, but we're not off to a really good start. Beautiful bottle. Last beer I had was fun. And this one, just aromatically, is just leaving me so much to be desired. Yeah, very neutral nose on this for something that is... Do we get on an ABV on this? I don't know if I called it out. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. 9% alcohol by volume. So, yeah. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. Yeah, it's fine. Soft little smoky, peaty smoke-like characteristic to it. Soft little sweetness to it. I do get that metallic astringency I tend to get on darker beers, certain darker beers in that sub 11%, 10% level. So I'm definitely getting here. It's not criminally large, but I'm definitely getting it. So if you're one of those people that are in tune with that kind of, I hesitate to say off flavor. I think it's more of I'm just a little bit kind of sensitive to that, like carbonic acid. Then you might get that in this beer. Soft little vanilla, soft little oakiness. Really reaching for a little bit of vanilla vibes on this sucker. I do get an Islay Scotch kind of vibe from it. I will say that. The reason, and the best way I could quantify this, is the reason I think I'm getting it is because I think the Belgian dark portion of the show is very, very lacks here. Strip this or compartmentalize the peated malt Islay Scotch whiskey barrel. Toss it off to the side. I think we're dealing with a rather neutered Belgian dark here. Nothing too big as far as rich malts. Not giving me a huge bready note. What it is giving me is quite generic. And it's just not giving me any of those wow factors that I've come to grow and love when it comes to nice, beautiful Belgian darks / quads. Just not really giving it to me there. So I think that's kind of the foundation of the beer is a little bit weak, which I think ends up kind of just working itself across the rest of the beer. I think, the level at which you get the barrel in the spirit here is appropriate for how weak the Belgian dark is showing here. But I think if you bring the Belgian dark a little bit bigger, a little bit more on par with what it should be, I think you lose almost all that barrel. So the balance between the two is kind of in tune, but both of them are just too small. They're small enough to where they pair up. So it's kind of a bummer. Super fun beer. I got it. I want to say it was like $4. I'm not going to get angry at the price point here. I'm actually curious to even just maybe get another bottle of this from maybe a different lot or batch to see if there's any kind of variance to it. But it's a bit underwhelming. Cool style, cool cut. I love the swing with the Belgian dark, and it's a Belgian brewery doing a Belgian dark when the peated Irish Scotch whiskey. I love all that. It just lacks a bit of complexity, a bit of depth for me. And comes off very kind of muted. And that's kind of not what I want from a Belgian strong dark in an Irish whiskey barrel. Or Scotch Islay whiskey barrel. Sorry about that. So yeah. Not a bad beer, not a negative beer. I'm not going to be like, it's one of the better Belgians darks I've had of late. It's up for debate. It's not bad. It's kind of there. I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I tried it. But as far as just showing something and proving and being fun, it just lacks a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of chutzpah. In the grand scheme of things, if you were to tell me, let's put it this way, spin this in a way where I could talk about this in a fun way, 9%. If you said this is a Belgian brown ale, 6%, I think this is really, really well done. That's kind of the thing here. You're talking about 9% whiskey barrel, all that stuff. If you told me they did this and gave it a low ABV treatment and this is what I'm getting here, I think that's a much different conversation, but it's not. It's a 9% Belgian dark and it just comes up a little bit short. So yeah, like I said, it's not the worst thing I've had and the best thing I've had. Somewhere in the middle, cheap, so that was fun. Off the shelf, and leave you with, if you like this. If you like low peat, low smoke, and very drinkable Belgian darks, you'll dig this. Yeah. Brouwerij Dochter van de Korenaar. Or something along those lines. Have you been to the brewery? Have you had their beers? Have you had this beer? Any other beer that I reviewed? I'll put them up same day. Curious about your thoughts. Hopefully you all enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of peaty smokiness right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all.